I ran, away from the man whose possessiveness was downright criminal. Don't get me wrong, he didn't cheat, didn't raise a hand, didn't spare a single luxury, but, seriously, Caldwell was basically a living, breathing Energizer bunny. Another week and I'd be permanently welded to that king-size mattress. Chapter 1. At 4:30 in the morning, I, Sophie, crept out of the riverside mansion worth north of $100 million. Pink mini suitcase rattling behind me. My lower back still felt like it had been steamrolled. The culprit was upstairs in the master suite, sleeping like a baby. One flash of his drop-dead face, and that 8-pack. V-cut physique. And I shivered. Yes, hot-blooded alphas are delicious. But nobody should binge. For 3 straight years I'd lived extreme cardio every single day. I'm a 5 feet 3 inches regular cutie. He's a 6'1", CEO built like a Marvel hero. The size and stamina gap is real. I was toast. I left a sticky note on the nightstand in my perkiest handwriting. Hubby, the world is huge and I want to see it. Don't miss me. I've signed up for a yoga retreat to stretch my poor hips. I prayed the word yoga would clue him in. I needed a genuine recharge. I slid into the getaway car my BFF Fiona had waiting and exhaled for the first time in weeks. Tion, you actually escaped? Fiona darted anxious glances my way. When Caldwell's obsession kicks in, I swear he'll flip the whole city. I sagged into the passenger seat and waved limply. Relax. Right now he's probably dreaming. Still working out. Fiona's hands spasmed. The car swerved into a tiny S. Girl, how did you survive 3 years of that kind of a love? I sighed like a ghost. Willpower. Plus every tonic my mom couriered over. So how long are you laying low? 10 days. 2 weeks tops. Let him cool off while my ancient bones reset. I brushed a palm over my flat stomach, feeling a weird flutter. Probably just my imagination. As we hit the highway, I looked back at the skyline glowing dawn pink and whispered, Caldwell, for the sake of our future, grant me this tiny sabbatical. Goodbye, my gorgeous tyrant. Hello, vacation. Sophie, where the hell are you? His voice on the phone felt like a Siberian cold front. I flinched. 7 a.m. sharp, his body clock beat any alarm. I cleared my throat, trying to sound zen and mountain fresh. Morning, hubby. I'm out absorbing the universe's vibes. While I talked I glared at Fiona, mouthing for her to slurp her cup noodles quieter. She froze mid-noodle and gave me a thumbs up. 10 silent seconds, long enough for me to picture him glaring, one hand on his hip, the other squeezing the phone to dust. Witch Mountain, he growled. Send me the pin, I'll come inhale with you. I almost choked on my own spit. And no, this is a girls-only yoga sanctuary. Men banned. You hustle for Caldwell. I'll be home in a few days. Sophie, full name warning, voice rough with threat. Your phone, your cards, they're all linked to me. The second you swipe, I get an alert. Ice water flooded my veins. Crap, I'd totally forgotten. Half an hour, he ordered. March back yourself, or I turn the city upside down. Click, line dead. I stared at Fiona, near tears. She patted my shoulder. Condolences. Maybe grovel hard and tonight's a cardio, it gets cut to 1 round? My phone dinged, a bank notification. Card ending 1234. Purchase $28.99, Sisterhood Motel, roadside. Fiona's phone rang seconds later. Connor's ID flashed. Speaker on. His tearful voice spilled out, Fiona, please. CEO just karate chopped the conference table with his bare hand. Spare me. I grabbed my suitcase. Faye, drive me back. If I stalled any longer, the poor guy would be collateral damage. Adulting is hard. No reason to nuke the staff. Chapter 3. The mansion greeted me with tomb-like silence, and the stone-faced man dominating the living room. Caldwell wore a tailored black suit, no tie, top buttons open, collarbone on lethal display, legs crossed. He flicked my sticky note between his fingers, gaze blacker than espresso. Connor hovered behind him, quail mode, eyes screaming, save yourself, ma'am. I parked the suitcase, flashed my sweetest oopsie grin, and shuffled over. Hubby, I'm home. See, finished yoga and rushed right back. Aren't I good? He didn't speak, just lifted one brow. That single look shrink-wrapped me like a hawk sizing up a bunny. He tossed the note onto the coffee table and leaned forward, elbows on knees. Yoga retreat. Sophie, next time invent something less insulting. I studied my shoes, drawing imaginary circles. I just wanted a girls' night with Fiona. A girls' night requires running away. He stood, closing in step by step. I inched back until the wall met my spine. No escape. He braced a forearm beside my head, caging me. Warm breath fanned my cheek. Scent of cedar and male skin filling my lungs. That desperate to leave me? The question held a tremor I'd never heard. Hurt. My heart hiccuped. It's not. Then what? His nose almost brushed mine. I squeezed my eyes shut and yelled, your stamina is insane. My waist is done. The room froze. pause. Caldwell's arm locked against the wall. His whole body turned to stone, shock, disbelief. And, was that smug pride? Connor behind us snorted. One death ray glare from Caldwell, and the assistant slapped a hand over his mouth. Sprinting out like ghosts chased him. Chapter 4, say that again? Caldwell rasped, voice cracking. I opened one eye. His ears were crimson, gaze darting. Alpha dominance swapped for shy teenager. Well, I poked his rock-hard chest with 2 fingers. Caldwell, you're too much. This fragile frame can't handle perpetual overtime anymore, and I'll fall apart. The instant my fingertip landed, he jolted. Adam's apple bobbing. He sucked in a breath, seized my wandering hand, and scooped me into a bridal carry. Ah! I yelped, locking arms around his neck. Penalty time, he husked, striding toward the staircase. Alarm bells clanged in my skull. Wait, let's discuss this. I meant we should pace ourselves. Yes. Moderation. He kicked the bedroom door open, laid me on the cloud-soft duvet, and braced himself above me, eyes molten. After this punishment, we'll start moderating. Me, pretty sure I just dug my own grave and happily shoveled dirt on top, watching fresh fire ignite in his stare. I wanted to cry. My yoga plan, my rest cure, ashes. Caldwell, you can't. Your wife is injured. Lower back trauma. I'll massage it. My legs are jelly. I'll help them move. I'm starving. Last-ditch trump card. He paused, studied me, then dropped a feather-light kiss on my lips. Fine. Feed you first. He actually left for the kitchen. I lay there stunned. Did I just survive? Minutes later, he returned with a bowl of steaming chicken and greens congee. Sitting bedside, he scooped, blew, and held the spoon to my mouth. Open. I obeyed. Warmth slid down, pooling like liquid comfort, spoon after spoon, all delivered with surgeon precision. His lashes cast half-moons on his cheeks, the usual steel gone, replaced by a tenderness that liquefied my bones. Something inside me quietly melted. Maybe this man wasn't totally unreasonable after all. I scraped the last spoonful of chicken and greens congee, then let out a satisfied burp. Full? He asked. I nodded. Yep, stuffed. He set the bowl down, then leaned in again, the corner of his mouth curling with triumph. Then now it's my turn. Me, Li Xiao. You liar. The great ship of love capsized in an instant. The tiny boat of trust flipped just as fast. A man's tongue is a devil in disguise. Chapter 5. Next morning my phone's ringtone dragged me awake. I fumbled for it. Half asleep, Fiona. Hello. My voice sounded like it had been sandpapered. Holy crap. Sophie, you're still alive? Fiona squealed with gossip-hungry glee. Barely breathing, I croaked. How was the battle? Did the CEO? I rolled my eyes so hard I ran out of energy for sarcasm. Fiona, I think I might be pregnant. Even I jumped at my own words. Last night's weird aftershocks plus the morning nausea left me no other theory. The line went dead for 3 whole seconds. Then Fiona shrieked. No way. A baby on board escape. That's grade A soap opera gold. Go grab a pregnancy test. Right now. I'm scared. Scared of what? If it's positive you've got the ultimate trump card, pregnant lady is queen. Let's see him bully you then. Her pep talk felt like a flashlight in my sewer of dread. Exactly. If I'm pregnant, I become the protected species. Right. No nightly marathons, he'll have to enshrine me. I sprang out of bed, blanket flying. The instant my feet hit the floor my legs folded like noodles. A steely arm looped my waist and yanked me back against a rock-hard chest. Awake? Li Xiao's low voice rumbled above my head. Why not sleep longer? I stiffened, twisting to see his annoyingly fresh face. Why does he look like he's just back from a spa while I feel reassembled by a toddler with a hammer? Rage flared. I shoved him. None of your business. He blinked, clearly not expecting the attitude. Instead of getting mad, he pressed his forehead to mine. What's wrong? You feel sick? Worry filled his eyes. I studied him. Emotions tangled. Yes, he's scarily possessive, but the concern and love are real. If I really am pregnant, how would he react? Happy? Or would he think I'm trapping him? Li Xiao, I whispered, just if we had a kid, what would you do? His body jolted. He gripped my shoulders, eyes blazing, voice shaky. What did you say? Sophie, are you? His intensity spooked me. I waved frantic hands. Hypothetical. Totally hypothetical. The spark in his eyes died, replaced by disappointment. Oh, he let go, turned, and walked to the walk-in closet. Watching that solitary back, I felt an unexpected pang. Does he really want a baby? Chapter 6. 6 while Li Xiao was at Caldwell. I had Fiona smuggle in a pregnancy test. In the bathroom I stared at the 2 scarlet lines and went numb. It's real. I, Sophie, 23, about to become a mom. And the father is the man who can split mahogany with bare hands. My brain projected a blockbuster. He finds out. Locks me inside the Riverside mansion. Lines up guards at the door. Every meal passes 8 security checks. Red carpet unrolled for every waddle. I shuddered. No, that future is a hard pass. A baby can't cost me all my freedom. I hid the test. Sucked in a breath. Forced calm. Sophie, keep it together. He must not know. At least not until he graduates from Love You Roughly 101. I need to re-educate him. That night when he came home I didn't hide. I actually greeted him, taking his suit jacket. Honey, welcome back, rough day. My sudden sweetness put him on guard. One brow lifted. So well behaved. What are you plotting? Nothing. I went on tiptoe to straighten his tie, fingers brushing his Adam's apple. I just think we need shared hobbies. His eyes darkened. He caught my hand. Oh, such as movie night, shopping, maybe gaming? I batted innocent eyes. He went silent. I expected refusal, but after a beat he actually nodded. Fine. I stared. That easy? But, he added, lips grazing my ear, if we game, loser pays a forfeit. His tone dripped danger. I got the message, only one thing on his mind. But I'm holding the ace of trumps now. Bring it on. Deal. I puffed my chest. Scaredy cat. Gaming. Back in college I was dorm champion. Mr. CEO. Prepare to be wrecked. Chapter 7. I vastly overrated myself, and vastly underrated him. We picked a 2-player co-op platformer. I assumed carrying a rookie tycoon would be a cinch. Reality? Sophie. Left. Spike trap under you. Sophie. Jump. Monster behind. Sophie. Stop moving. Just hide behind me. Cool commands. Pinpoint aim. Flawless combos. All him. Me. Scream track and liability. At the final boss my screw-up wiped us both. Game screen flashed. Game over. I could have dug a castle with my curled toes. Pure fluke. I laughed dryly. He set the controller down, angled his head, half smile playing. Yeah. I saw. One more round. I swear. No need. He stood, moving closer. Game's over. Penalty time. Me, hugging a throw pillow. I retreated into the sofa corner. A gentleman keeps his word. No cheating. I'm not cheating. He loomed like a sleek leopard admiring lunch. You lost. My eyes watered. Why did I tee this up? He leaned in, caged me with arms on the cushion. Don't be scared. His voice melted like caramel. This penalty is special. From nowhere he produced a hairdryer. Question marks rained over my head. Next thing, he carried me to the bathroom, sat me on a stool, and started blow-drying my hair. Warm wind brushed my scalp. His fingers glided, impossibly gentle. Only the dryer's hum filled the room, cozy and quiet. In the mirror, I watched his concentration, heart swelling until it felt tight. When every strand was dry, he carried me to bed, tucked me in. No groping, no kisses that scorch. Night. A soft kiss landed on my forehead. Then he walked out to his study. I lay there, dazed. That was the penalty. What on earth is he scheming? My re-education program seems to be veering off course. Chapter 8. The next few days, Li Xiao kept morphing. No more nightly physical training. Instead, he actually indulged our shared hobbies. He sits through primetime rom-coms and clumsily passes me tissues while I sob at cheesy scenes. He tags along on shopping trips. When my choice phobia strikes, he tells the clerk everything except what she's wearing. Wrap it. He even hits the arcade, stone-faced, emptying the claw machine while kids cheer, until my arms overflow with plushies, tossing stuffed animals, hauling shopping bags. Are you dreaming? Since when does that domineering Li Xiao do normal people stuff? No idea which wire reconnected in his brain. I mumbled, biting an apple. Mark my words, your little escape scared him straight. Keep at it. Mold him into your own obedient golden retriever. After hanging up I peeked at the kitchen. Li Xiao in a white shirt, sleeves rolled, flour on his cheek, trying, badly, to make me dinner. Hair tousled, eyes focused. He looks like a giant kid caught stealing cookies. The contrast slays me. I sneak my phone and snap a pic. Click. He looks up. Eyes lock. Guilty. I hide the phone behind my back. He wiped his hands on a dish towel and walked toward me, color riding high on his cheeks. Don't you dare laugh. I'm not. I tried so hard my ribs hurt, but the corners of my mouth kept sneaking north. He pinched my cheek. Liar. His gaze dipped to my stomach and lingered. Instantly soft. Hungry. 2 more minutes, and it's done. I nodded, a slow warmth flooding my chest. Maybe this is the moment? Caldwell. The words backed up in my throat. Wait, just a little longer. Let me be sure the wolf has actually traded his fangs for whiskers. Chapter 9. The night of the Caldwell Gala, he towed me along as a family. I wore ice blue silk, hand hooked through his arm, and the second we stepped onto the red carpet, every camera flash felt like it had my name on it. Wow, that's Caldwell. A total knockout. She's even prettier than the pictures, like a real-life fairy. Look how he looks at her. I could bottle that gaze and sell it as sugar. My ego soaked it up like a sponge. I straightened a fraction and smiled wider. Caldwell bent to my ear. Happy now, Silly girl. He ruffled my carefully curled hair, wrecking the stylist's hour of work. Before I could protest, a red sheath missile appeared. Long time no see. Caldwell. Angela, somebody from his board with a rep for swallowing men whole, swirled a flute of champagne. Every guy within 10 feet tracked the sway of her hips. I tightened my grip on his arm. Her eyes skimmed me like I was clearance rack merchandise, then locked on him, liquid and warm. Heard you've canceled half your calendar for your little wife. Guess even titans melt for beauty. Compliment. Sounded like a paper cut rubbed with salt. Caldwell's face went arctic. My private life isn't on the agenda tonight. Wang. He didn't bother with her first name, just the surname. Like a slap. Angela's smile twitched, then reset. Just saying. Business first. Some women are decoration. Dead weight dragging a man's stride. She might as well have pointed at my nose. I inhaled to fire back when Caldwell cut in. Exactly. I froze, staring. What? Angela's grin turned shark. The crowd scenting drama. Phones half raised. My cheeks blazed. You absolute jerk. He slid his arm around my waist, dipped me back a theatrical inch, and pressed a kiss to my forehead so tender the room went mute. So I'll work twice as hard to keep my wife that a dead weight, the rest of her life, pretty and carefree. You could have heard a sequin drop. Angela's face cycled to eggplant. A ripple of squeals swept the younger staff. My heart liquefied like caramel in the sun. This man plays dirty. Chapter 10. Highlight of the night. The raffle. Caldwell, as boss, was summoned to draw the grand prize. The MC thundered, and the grand prize is a 7-day couple getaway to Hawaii. Caldwell, which lucky name are we pulling? He lifted a card, glanced, then coolly slipped it back. Gasps everywhere. The host stammered, Sir. Caldwell lifted the mic. I'm not drawing. Murmurs swelled. My wife's been complaining her back aches. She needs sun and sand. His eyes found me through the crowd, so I'm giving it to her. Boom. Cheers nearly lifted the roof. OMG. Goals. Cancel my employment. I'm reincarnating as his wife. Petition to rename husband to a Caldwell. Under that lava flow of envy, I felt my face ignite. On the ride home, I leaned against the window. City lights smearing into star streaks. Grinning like an idiot. That happy? His voice carried a smile. Nope. He hauled me onto his lap. Still mad about Angela? I shook my head. You were smoking hot tonight, I admitted. He laughed against my hair. When aren't I? Narcissist. I swatted him. He caught my fist. The air thickened, his breathing slower. Hotter. Caldwell, we're in the car. I know. Husky. Privacy screens up. But, Sophie. A plea vibrated under my name. I've been restrained for weeks. Looking into those starving eyes, I caved. Fine, reward the tyrant. I closed the gap, kissing him soft, then not soft at all. 3,000 steamy words redacted for public safety. Afterward I lay limp across his chest, half asleep, when his palms settled low on my belly. Sophie, soft, shaking. Should we make it official? A baby? Sleep bolted. I played dead. Chapter 11. I faked snoring, only defense I had. His hand stayed glued to my stomach so long I wondered if he expected an egg to hatch. At last he sighed and tucked me closer. Sleep. Relief washed through me. Close call. Back home I beelined to the bathroom, dug out the pregnancy test, double-checked. 2 neon lines, still screaming positive. Tell him straight. Too risky. Tonight proved he's been plotting fatherhood. If I confess now he'll swear I orchestrated everything. Escape. Reunion. Pregnancy. The whole 9 yards as some grand trap. Can't let the big bad wolf think I baited him. I hid the stick again and patted out. He sat on the bed reviewing contracts. He patted the mattress. Come. I eased down. We leave for Hawaii next week, he said. Connor cleared my calendar. You wanted ocean, done. My heart folded like origami. Okay, sun and surf might clear my head, and finally hatch a plan. The day before departure Fiona kidnapped me for our vacation shopping. Over decaf, hers, and unsweetened Americano, mine. Traitorous? She glared. Girl, you're pregnant. Caffeine? 1 sip. Nerves. You mean paranoia. She nailed it. Still haven't told Caldwell? I rotated the cup. What if he thinks I schemed? Please. You're married. Pregnancy is literally the next line in the contract. If he side-eyes that, I'll crash his servers into next week. Fiona's a white hat hacker with felonious skills. I believed her. I know you've got my back. But, no buts. She grabbed my hand. Love shows. Caldwell adores you. Any idiot can see it. A man who hears he's going to be a dad does backflips. Not interrogations. Overthinking kills joy. Babe. Her words detonated the fog in my skull. Yeah. Why borrow trouble? All the tiny kindnesses. The way he watches me like I invented daylight, that's real. I should trust him. Trust us. Thanks. Phi. I smiled. Suddenly light. I know exactly where to drop the bomb. I'll do it in Hawaii. Sunset. Waves. The whole postcard. Give him the surprise of his life. Chapter 12. Hawaii is a screensaver come alive, turquoise water, sugar white sand, air sweet with plumeria. Caldwell rented an entire beachfront villa with its own crescent of private shore. I galloped across the sand in a gauzy maxi, barefoot, straw hat flapping. He followed, white linen shirt snapping, my sandals dangling from his fingers. Slow down. You'll trip. Won't. I stuck out my tongue. Wind whipped my skirt, sun painted gold across my cheeks. I felt untouchable. That night he staged the cliché of every honeymoon brochure. Candlelit dinner on the terrace, lobster, mango salad, champagne flute replaced with sparkling coconut water for me, violinist sawing away at something breathy. Across the fairy light table sat the man who once terrified me and now only thrills me, eyes softer than the surf below. Moment officially perfect. Time to pull the pin on the happiness grenade. I drew a breath, palms suddenly damp on linen napkin, and I sucked in a steadying breath and pulled a tiny, ribbon-wrapped box from my purse. Caldwell, I've got a present for you. His brows lifted in surprise. He took the box, snapped the lid open. Inside, lying on a bed of cotton, was the pregnancy test that had flipped my entire world upside down. The air itself seemed to freeze. Caldwell stared at the stick, then at me, the shock on his face melting first into disbelief, then into wild, blazing joy. His eyes lit up with a brilliance I'd never seen before. Sophie, is this real? His voice shook with raw excitement. I nodded, smiling through the sudden sting of tears. Congratulations, Caldwell, you're going to be a dad. He shot up from his chair, strode around the table, and yanked me into a crushing hug. His arms felt like steel bands, as though he meant to fuse me to his bones. I could feel him trembling, heart hammering against my own. This is incredible, incredible, he kept repeating, rocking me like a kid with the best toy in the universe. When he finally let go, he cupped my face and studied it like he was memorizing every pore. Then he bent, slow and reverent, and pressed a feather-soft kiss to my still flat belly. Hey, baby, daddy's right here. The tears I'd been holding back spilled over. Fiona had been right. A man who truly loves you answers this news with nothing but pure, unfiltered joy. Every fear, every worry, evaporated in that instant. Why are you crying? He fussed, thumbs brushing my cheeks. This is happy news. They're happy tears. I sniffled. He grinned, and the sight outshone the sunniest day in Hawaii. Sophie, he said, utterly serious, thank you. Thank you for walking into my life. Thank you for carrying our child. Thank you for making me whole. We skipped alcohol that night. He even dumped the half glass of champagne I'd left on the table and replaced it with fresh juice. From now on, he declared, the house was dry. From now on, I was his queen and his religion. He was going to be the greatest father on earth. Watching him rattle off plans, I laughed until new tears came. My tyrant had turned into one giant, goofy dad. Chapter 13. The instant he learned about the baby, Caldwell's dominance leveled up. He moved Caldwell headquarters into our house. Paternity leave, he called it. Overnight the study became a satellite command center. Connor and the executive team lined up daily, dutifully donning booties and sanitizing their hands before they so much as breathed near me. My job, eat, nap, and let Caldwell feed me. He'd hired a squad of nutritionists who staged 5 gourmet prenatal meals a day. I wasn't pregnant. I was being fattened for market. 1 month in, I'd gained 5 pounds. I pinched the new softness around my waist and wailed. Caldwell, no more food, I'm turning into a beach ball. He sailed in with a bowl of bird nest soup, unmoved. The dietitian says you're eating for 2. I'm stuffed. 1 more bite, sweetheart. He coaxed like I was a toddler. I twisted my head away in mutiny. He sighed and played his ace. If you won't eat, I'll kiss you until you do. Me, becoming a father had made him even more shameless. Predictably, I surrendered to the tyrant. Food wasn't his only fixation, he'd upgraded to full-blown paranoia. Stairs. He carried me. Shower. He lurked outside the door, knocking every 5 minutes. You okay? I'd roll over in bed and he'd jolt awake, demanding to know if I was in pain. At first the coddling felt sweet. After 4 weeks it felt like suffocation. When Fiona dropped by and saw my ocell, she doubled over laughing. Girl, you're not pregnant. You're on lockdown. Not funny. I grouched. His heart's in the right place, she said, wiping tears. First time dad syndrome. But you do need air. I haven't left the house in a month. She tapped her chin, eyes sparkling. I've got an idea. Next morning she texted me a link, registration for a daddy course. I skimmed the syllabus, asterisk supporting your pregnant wife, science. Not stress asterisk managing mood swings like a pro, be the ultimate birth partner. My eyes lit up. Professionals needed to handle this. I forwarded the link to Caldwell. Honey, for the baby's sake, maybe you should enroll. He studied the page. Silent. I braced for mockery. Instead, he turned to Connor and said, buy the entire program, starting tomorrow. Their top instructor teaches me here. One-on-one. Me, Connor, money really could buy anything. Chapter 14. The daddy boot camp worked fast. After lesson 1, he quit force-feeding me foods I hated. The chefs rebuilt the prenatal meal plan around my actual cravings. After lesson 2, he instituted daily walks and learned prenatal massage. After lesson 3, he apologized out loud. I was yelling at a primetime rom-com, calling the hero a dirtbag, and Caldwell thought I meant him. Old him would have hauled me off for disciplinary action. New him took a measured breath and stammered, I'm sorry, darling. The instructor says hormones make you emotional. I shouldn't take it personally. His earnest face almost made me laugh out loud. My pregnancy turned harmonious, almost too perfect. The only constant, his marrow-deep possessiveness. My OBGYN was a handsome guy. Caldwell glowered through the entire appointment like a bouncer. Doctor, any discomfort? Sophie? Before I could answer, Caldwell barked, she's puking mornings. Leg cramps nights. Doctor, me. For the ultrasound, the doc reached for the ultrasound gel. Caldwell blocked his hand. I've got it. He smeared the gel himself. Eyes warning. This is MY territory. The poor doctor wiped sweat and gave me a pitying smile. In the car I groaned, seriously. He's a physician. Caldwell's knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. He looked at you longer than 3 seconds. He's male. You're jealous of every male? Male. Female? No one gets more than 3 seconds. I quit arguing. Fine. He was gorgeous and insane. And I was stupidly fond of both. To him, my love wasn't a bonus. It was the rope that kept him from drowning. Chapter 15. 10 months swelled to an eternity, then collapsed into a single heartbeat. They wheeled me toward the delivery suite. Caldwell paced the corridor so frantically nurses thought he was the patient in labor. 8 hours later they rolled me out. He rushed over, eyes bloodshot, and pressed a trembling kiss to my sweaty forehead. You did amazing, wife. His voice was gravel. I burst into tears. Every second of pain was worth that sentence. Our son looked exactly like him, those jet black, star-bright eyes. Caldwell named him Liam Nyen Sophie. Nyen, remembrance. Sophie's sophomore. I held the tiny bundle, stared at this man who had become my fortress, and felt the universe click into place. The monster I once fled had learned gentleness, restraint, how to love, and I, in his love, had met my truest self. Discharge day was golden. Caldwell cradled sleeping Liam in one arm, laced his fingers through mine with the other. Let's go home, he said. Yeah. Home. Sunlight haloed his face, and I knew our saga was just beginning. Ahead waited more sweetness, more laughter, maybe storms, but as long as we held on, nothing could tear us apart. He was the tyrant written in my stars. I was the only salvation he would ever need.